This great article from the Fair Observer says virtual reality is really kind of impossible, like perpetual motion. Because the sensory inputs that come into our bodies, whether it's eyes, the ears, and emotions, and temperature, and so on, millions of vibration sensors, this is really what we do, they create a single unified experience. They are not generated by glasses. They're as real as it gets because we're using all of our senses, right? And when we touch things like water and we do things with our hands or feet, we have a sensation that goes beyond this one sense, and it's embedded in many other things. A lived sensory experience, same article, sensory fusion. Well, we have sensory fusion when we wear these glasses. Well, it's a sensory simulation, right? And we may have a kind of a King Midas problem. Basically, we want everything that we touch to turn into a miracle, into gold, the King Midas story. This may be not a very good idea for us to looking at it this way. It's just a tool that we can do things with. It isn't going to change our human reality, I don't think, in such a way. And of course, the conclusion of the article is that unfortunately for VR, there's no mathematical way to make a consistent world from a partial, delayed, corrupted data input. Because in the end, our brains really need 3D invasive data, pervasive data, right, to make that happen, to create a real experience. Because in the end, we don't see only with the eyes, we see with everything. All of our senses, our feelings, our ears, when we don't think with the brain. Every therapist will tell you that it's a lot more complicated. And intelligence, human intelligence, is not just logical firepower. Right? It's a lot more than that. And so VR has this problem that we are seeing only a partial thing, and it's going to be incongruent, right? So if you're looking at the possibility of VR sickness, for example, it's quite like general motion discomfort and very hard to get rid of. And I've experienced it several times. And I really think the user's perception of self-motion is going to be based on some sort of incongruent sensory input from the VR and not creating a very good experience. That's the major problem that has to do with our brain, not just with the devices that we use. So between those two things, AR and VR, let's compare the two and come to a conclusion on this. Point number one, AR is about open senses, an open world, right? An augmented world, not artificially a fantasy world, which is interesting, I think, for gaming, maybe for learning, maybe for instruction, maybe for digital twins in factories. Right? But for us as consumers, I wouldn't bet on that becoming a major hit, in any time soon. Because, wearing an outfit, no matter how amazing it is, requires a certain understanding of where you want to go. And AR offers sensory augmentation. That may already be too much for us, right? But overbearing 3D simulations in real time, seriously addictive as well. And AR augmented reality has a ready-to-go technology base in mobile phones, especially in India. And those devices will sooner or later all support augmented reality development kits and APIs and so on, where we can make this happen. So that's a real tangible opportunity there for marketers as well. And it provides a much more sustainable opportunity for humans. I mean, it may already be overwhelming, and I'm not sure I would want to have these on all the time with all this information floating down. And sometimes offline is the new luxury, right?